Teacher talking sports, what it does, what it do, how we live. And myself personally, I'm a long suffering Miami Marlins fan. Sure, I've had 1997 and 2003, but pretty much every other season has been misery with the team. And if you've been following the MLB offseason, the Miami Marlins have done really nothing to add to the team. They traded Jesus Luzardo. Today it was announced that Braxton Garrett would be missing this season. Well, they weren't good last year, but they were better than the Chicago White Sox. The White Sox, of course, lost an MLB record 121 games last season. Was, quite a pathetic showing from the team. Well, at least you could give them credit that they are trying in free agency and actually made a deal as well. But today they signed their most pricey free agent. They've signed a lot of guys on the cheap. But today, you see here, Mandy Bell, MLB.com, veteran lefty Martin Perez reaches 1 year deal with White Sox. So I believe it's, let's see, I believe it's for 2.5 million with the 2.5 million buyout. With a 10 million option, mutual option for next season. You see, he turned 34 years old on he's going to turn 34 years old on April 4th. Was an all-star in 2022. Hasn't been as good of late. 4.53 ERA last year with Pittsburgh and San Diego, but he pitched much better after joining the Padres. You see 3-1 with a 3.46 ERA in 10 starts. And they went 8-2 in the games he started. For the White Sox, he will probably be their opening day start. If we take a look at their depth chart via Fangraphs, there's a lot of new pieces on the team, and not saying any of the new guys are necessarily like huge needle movers, but at least make their roster look a little bit more MLB worthy. They signed Mike Tauchman for around $2 million. A decent outfielder. Basically a league average offensive player. Signed Josh Rojas, who did not hit the ball well but field solidly. They also added Miguel Vargas in a trade last year, but oops, didn't mean to do that. Let's go back. So we look at the also signed Austin Slater. He's like their fourth outfielder. Matt Tice. They added him. You could do worse at backup catcher. Perez, yes. As you see here, they project him to be the opening day starter. I mean, this is not a very. These guys aren't household names, is what I should say, in their starting rotation. I mean, Perez is known, but Jonathan Cannon, Davis Martin, Sean Burke, he was an old goaltender in like the 1990s in the NHL, and Bryce Wilson, who looked like he would be a solid player for the Atlanta Braves, but really hasn't pitched well of late. But also added Cam Boozer via a trade with the Boston Red Sox. Only gave up a minor leaguer. Boozer had a very good season out of the pen for the Boston Red Sox last season. So again, at least they are trying, you can say. Now, the White Sox certainly aren't going to be a playoff team. They're certainly not going to make a um, huge upward move up the standings as the Kansas City Royals did last season. I mean, the Royals were signing a bunch of guys, but they were more noteworthy guys. Were spending more money than the White Sox are. But yes, at least they are trying. As a Miami Marlins fan, I can appreciate that because, my team's just sitting there, not even really trying to attempt to improve the big league roster. I didn't even, mention that they also traded Jake Berger, their best power hitter. So, what are your thoughts? 121 losses last year. Yes, they did trade Garrett Crochet. I failed to mention that. Their ace from last season. But they should be an improved team. What are they going to get? 110 losses this year? 105? Could they lose double digit games instead of triple digit? But yes, it's still good to see that they're at least attempting to sign guys. And the Marlins aren't the only team who haven't signed a major league player. There are a few. Anyhow, don't forget to subscribe. Tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend. Subscribe. Like the video, share the video, hit the bell for notifications. I'm out.